Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Welcome back to another Mexico video. It feels like a long time since I've done a Mexico video. Um, but we're going to go straight into it. Before we do that, actually, I just wanted to apologize for not uploading videos for a while. I got caught COVID like a week ago. I'm over it now, but it knocked me out for a couple of days, and I couldn't be bothered to record while I was recovering from that. And obviously before that, I was busy at work, and before that, I was in the States. So it's been a busy month or couple of months, to be honest with you. But back now, kind of steady now. So hopefully we can start kicking out some more content for you guys. So yeah. So as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about Mexico's 31-man squad for the World Cup. And also for the friendlies coming up next week. So obviously, it's going to be cut down to I think 25 or 26 players. I can't remember the actual total number, but I'm pretty sure it's like 25 players. So it's going to get cut down from this, but we're going to go through the players that's listed as of like 3 days ago. I think now it's about 3 days old. We're going to go straight into it. We're going to go by position and what I think, and we'll just go from there. So we'll start off with the goalkeepers. It's the easy one. Obviously, Guillermo Ochoa is going to be starting goalkeeper. He's probably going to play most. I would imagine him playing all three group games, barring any kind of injury scares or anything like that. Obviously, you've got Cotta and Talavera as backup. What can I say? Unfortunately, not really surprising. I think Talavera just about gets away with it, but I think I don't know what I mean. I don't know. I think Acevedo should be at least on the list. Um, like I think it should be Ochoa, Talavera, and Acevedo. I think those three would be the best three. But like it's not. This isn't surprising. Most of this list, whole of it, isn't really surprising given Tata Martino's track record and the obvious favourites that he has. So the goalkeepers, I'm kind of meh about. On one hand, Ochoa's going to play 99% of the tournament, so it doesn't really matter. But it kind of does. If anything happens to Ochoa, or you kind of want to rotate, is Talavera going to come in and do an amazing job? I think Acevedo's had a decent season in Liga MX. I think he deserved to be called up, but that's my opinion. I think a lot of people will agree, but it is what it is. We're going to the defenders now. So Kevin Alvarez, Angulo, Araujo, Arteaga, Gallardo, Moreno, Montez, Sanchez, and Vasquez. Obviously, I think the starting back line is going to be Jorge Sanchez on the right, Arteaga on the left. Um, I'll say Cesar Montez and probably Ernesto Araujo in the middle. But I can see Moreno getting a start at some point. I got a feeling that Tata's going to go with Gallardo at the left back, but I would start Arteaga. He's the one in Europe. Um, Fullback wise, Mexico doing alright in Europe at the moment. Arteaga's doing quite well at Genk, Belgium, and obviously Jorge Sanchez is playing Champions League football. Like, how crazy is that with Ajax? So, not having the best start at Ajax. I mean, he's very much um, a small fish in a big pond now, where he was a big fish in a small pond in Liga MX, but he's going to forge through the flames. I mean, Edson Alvarez, it took him a while to get going at Ajax. It took Chicken Lozano a bit of a while to get through in Napoli. So Mexican players seem to have to go through a bit of a tough time when they first enter these big clubs. So, um, but I do see Gallardo getting a fairly decent game time. I don't think Kevin Alvarez makes the cut. Unfortunately, I really like the player. I really hope he stays, but I think he's gonna be one of the 4 or 5 that get cut. Vasquez isn't doing that great in Europe right now. Obviously, the defenders seem to be late bloomers, so he's probably gonna benefit if he stays in Europe. But I don't see Tata starting him. But maybe in the rotation, maybe in the subs, he might come off the bench. Overall, I mean, it is what it is. Gallardo is the obvious. I think, like, some people have Araujo and Moreno. Moreno, especially. I think Araujo is doing all right. You know, centre backs is a bit of a worrying position for me for Mexico. There doesn't seem to be many players coming through the ranks that are going to overtake Araujo and Moreno. It's just going to be Montez and probably Vasquez going into the future, but it is what it is. Going to the midfield, Edson Alvarez, probably the first name on the team sheet. I'd say he's the Mexican at the moment in Europe that's doing the best. Um, we'll talk about him in a minute. So Alvarado, Antuna, Chavez, Godardo, Eric Gutierrez, Herrera, um, Linus, Pineda, Charlie Rodriguez, Luis Romo, and um, Sanchez. So yeah, obviously, I think Alvarez. I think it's gonna be a three-man midfield. Edson Alvarez again, first name on the team sheet. He's, the, I would say, one of the best players in Ajax now. He's playing Champions League football. He did get smashed by Liverpool, but it's Liverpool. Um, he's still in with a chance of progressing. So good for him. So yeah, Edson Alvarez in the midfield. It should be Eric Gutierrez. Beat Arsenal with PSV a couple of days ago, which sucks. Kind of sucks for me. Um, well, we're still top of the group, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But yeah, it should be Edson Alvarez, Gutierrez, probably Orbelin Pineda. I think that's probably the best combination. I wouldn't be surprised if Godardo gets to start or gets to start in one of the three group stage games. Um, Maybe Charlie Rodriguez gets subbed in. All the others, I don't know, man. I think Sanchez doesn't. I think Sanchez gets cut. Luis Romo, I think, should get cut. Probably won't, but he should. There's a big question mark about Hacha now. About I think he's just come off an injury. He was injured when I was in the States. That's why I couldn't see him play with Houston Dynamos when they played the LFC. And he didn't play for Mexico either in the September friendlies for Mexico. So he is coming back off an injury. He is in the MLS now. His form, some will say his form's severely dropped now. He's definitely on the tail end of his career. You have to compare him to Godardo, who's excuse me, who's likely going to retire a European player. Um, I think I think Hachacha makes the bench at least, and I think he'll play. But I don't think he should be starting. Edson Alvarez, Gutierrez, and Pineda for me. Um, I don't know why they've included Linus in the midfield. I don't really see him as a midfield player. I see him as a wide player, but hopefully Linus makes the cut and get some game time because he's having a bit of a troubled time with Europe in general, really. But I think he seems to play really well at Mexico, and I think he deserves to get a call up. And forwards is Tecatito Corona, Funes Mori, Santi Jimenez, Raul Jimenez, Chico Lozano, Henry Martin, and Alexis Vega. A lot to digest with this one. Obviously, I would say that Henry Martin is the most informed striker Mexico has right now. Doing really well, Club America. There's question marks about Chivas coming in for him, but I don't think he makes that move. People say that he should be the starting striker. I kind of agree, only because Raul Jimenez is coming off an injury. A fairly decently long injury. I think he's been out for a couple of months now. Or at least, I think it's coming up to a couple of months. And, I think there's question marks about whether he's going to be fit enough to start a World Cup game. So I think Henry Martin probably does start against Poland. People say that Raul Jimenez should be called up at all. I think that's a bit of a crazy take, to be honest with you. It's Raul Jimenez. If he's fit, he's going to be in this roster. He's been a bit off since his severe head injury, but still a quality player. Has been a bit iffy with Mexico over the last year or so. Hopefully, if he plays in the World Cup, there's a magic behind that. Players turn up for it, so But yeah, I think Henry Martin starts the first game at least. I think Raul Jimenez probably will be on the bench for it, and then he'll probably start the last couple of the second game in the group stage. So um, Alexis Vega, I think he's nailed on. I think for me it's gonna be Henry Martin, at least for the first game. Henry Martin up front, with Vega on the left and Lozano on the right. They might swap around. Players, coaches, and players like to move around their front threes now. Funes Mori, for me, should get the cut, but he won't. I think Santi Jimenez gets the cut, which is diabolical. I mean, Santi Jimenez had a decent start for Feyenoord in Eredivisie in Europe, and I think he deserves to be there. I've got a feeling that inexplicably Tata's going to prefer Funes Mori to Santi Jimenez, which is crazy to me, but it is what it is. Um, so yeah, I mean, my players that I think will get the cut will be Kevin Alvarez, um, Vasquez. I think Johan Vasquez gets the cut. I think that I don't know, probably Sanchez in the midfield gets cut. Luis Romo, I think, gets cut. That's what, 4 players already. Um, and yeah, I think Santi Jimenez gets cut, but I hope it doesn't. I hope I'd have him on the bench. I'd have Henry Martin in that first game, Martin up front, and Santi Jimenez on the bench. Because I think he could add something off the bench, but we'll have to wait and see for the main list. I mean, the list doesn't come out for I think another couple of weeks. Maybe, yeah, another couple of weeks. Yeah, we've got the friendlies in a week's time. I think like 10 days time. So once they're done, I can't remember when the actual final list comes out, but I'm pretty sure it's um, middle of November, like the 18th of November or something like that. Anyway, once that list gets released, I will obviously do a video on it. I just love this shirt; it's so amazing. Um, so yeah, I mean, for me, it's not really a surprising list. It's a bit of a disappointing list, sure. Marcelo Flores not making it. There's a whole load of players that haven't made it that probably should have. I never expected Marcelo to be in this list. Like, yeah, for me, I've always stated that for Marcelo to make this Mexico squad for 2022, he would have had to have stayed at Arsenal and be playing with Arsenal. And obviously that didn't happen. He's barely playing for Oviedo at the moment. There is a video I'm going to be releasing this relatively soon on Marcelo Flores and his kind of on loan career right now. Because there's lots to talk about that specifically, but there are players that haven't made the list that maybe should have. Let me know in the comments if I missed any. I think the list is alright. I mean, I'll give it maybe excuse me, an 8 out of 10. Um, there are players that I would personally get rid of this list and keep, and there are players that Tata, I know that Tata's going to keep and let go. So, Funes Mori, for instance, I know that he's going to keep Funes Mori and cut Santi Jimenez. Well, I think it should be the other way around. I think pretty much 99% of the fan base thinks it should be the other way around. It's just, there are players that are young, up and coming in Europe doing really well, or doing decently well. And then there's Liga MX slash MLS players that Tata just loves, period. Um, Gallardo, for example, no fan's gonna choose Gallardo over Arteaga, and yeah, that's what Tata's gonna do. I just know it. But hopefully not. Hopefully Arteaga starts the left back for the first game, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. I think Julian Alvarez, is a glaring miss. I think he could be decent backup right back option for Jorge Sanchez in this tournament. I'll take Angulo and Alvarez, Kevin Alvarez, in my opinion. I'd sacrifice Kevin Alvarez if it meant that Julian Araujo would make the squad. But it is what it is. I mean, the thing is I don't know whether it's because I'm tired, but there's almost no point getting wound up about it or getting annoyed about it because it's not going to change anything. Um, you know, it's just you're just wasting your time and your energy being mad about something that is not going to happen. So we'll have to wait and see. Well, obviously, I'm reserving my main rage for the final list. If there's players on there like Funes Mori, Gallardo, Kota, if they're on there, I'm gonna be like, okay, that's when I'm gonna run and rage. But right now, this is a decent enough squad. I think it's Iraq and Sweden in Europe. I think they're playing in Europe. Um, Decent games. I think I'm working nights both of those games, so I'm gonna be able to watch them, but it's not gonna be the same at work. But it is what it is. I know that I'm working a couple. I think the first two group stage games I'm working, but I think I've got the final group stage game off, so I'll probably do a video special on that when it happens. So yeah, that's my basically rundown of the list. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's players that I've missed out that should be on the list that are not. Um, yeah. So and also check out my I've got a Panini sticker series out now. Episode one's just launched a few hours ago. Just me and opening some stickers, me telling you and showing you the players that I've got in that, and I'm gonna be doing that for the entire time, and hopefully gonna complete this book. So yeah, it'll be a cool story, cool little journey to take you guys on, and hope you guys watch that. So it'll be cool. Let me know in the comments. Uh, have you got the sticker book? Have you got very far in it? Yeah, we'll have a discussion on it. So yeah, take it easy, guys. I'll see you guys. I might try and do a video for excuse me. I'll try and do a video for the review for the friendlies, the last two friendlies, and then probably a preview video for the World Cup itself, what I think is gonna happen, blah blah blah. And yeah, so there's loads of videos coming out relatively soon. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys very soon. Take it easy. Adios.